making choices, making decisions. Sometimes we can feel really stuck between different courses of actions, sort of the pros and the cons. You know, we sort of know that we should be doing something, but kind of part of us also doesn't want to either. And sometimes we can feel really, really stuck. So on the one hand, we know that it's important that we should exercise and it will help us lose weight and we'll feel better and it might help us with our depression and help us to have more energy. But on the other hand, the thought of going swimming and the cold swimming pool and the changing rooms which aren't very nice, and the fact that, you know, when I last went swimming I was 26 and weighed half as much as I do now, and you weigh it all up and you just go, oh, I'm really not sort of very sure about this. So sometimes it can help us just to sort of write things down and make it a bit more specific. So we sometimes just draw up a little nice and simple decision-making chart. So on the one hand, we have a column labeled cons. On the other hand, we might have a column labeled pros. So all the reasons for doing the activity and all the reasons against doing activity. So take, for example, of going swimming. So we might write in the pros column, it will help me lose weight, it will help me feel a little bit fitter, and it will give me a sense of achievement when I've done it. And we might write in the cons one, I don't like swimming pools very much anymore, I'm worried it's going to be full of children who are going to sort of splash me, and I'm not quite sure if I've got the time either. And what we then do is score each of those items. So so on my score, being splashed by small children things actually about an 8, but also losing weight, I'm going to score an 8 as well. So we score the different items, and here's an example here. And then we add them all up and we see which comes out strongest. Do the pros come out with a higher score than the cons, or the cons with a higher score than the pros? And we might look at those scores and then we ask ourselves, is this actually the answer I wanted? Yeah? It's a bit like flipping a coin, isn't it? Shall I, shan't I? So you flip a coin, and when the coin's in the air, you sort of think, actually, I really wanted to come down tails. If it comes down tails, you think, oh, I actually wanted it to come down heads. So when we've added it all up, we then ask ourselves, is this the result that we wanted? And you might find that your gut tells you, so inside you go, actually, you know, I know it's good for me. I know all the reasons I should go swimming are more than all the reasons I don't want to. But do you know, I really don't want to go swimming. I'm going to look for something else. And that's absolutely fine. So this is just a way of helping us to come to a decision, helping us to come to a conclusion. Because then once we've done that, we can then think, well, what do I want to do instead? Particularly if we know that losing weight is still important to us, is still something that we want to do, then we can look for other ways and move on and forget about swimming altogether and look for something a little bit different.